that's important. But the travel part is important to me. When I am an ambassador of a company that is in so many different territories, that is in parts of the world that I've spent a lot of time, which I have a lot of fans, I think it's important that I'm on the ground and I'm banging the drums exactly, what the guys are doing throughout the business. And I think that is something that I really enjoy. I've been able to travel to so many different places around the world over the last 25 years as a footballer, and now I can actually come to these places and enjoy it a little bit more, because when I used to come as a footballer, we used to arrive, we used to play the game, we used to go, and that was it. So I never really got time to actually spend time on the streets, in different restaurants, with different people, and I think that's the advantage of obviously me being a retired footballer now. But the juggling act is, it's difficult. It's difficult because, there are companies that I own with, there are, my family, my children at home, so it is a juggling act, but it's important. I'm committed to these partners and to these groups, so I think it's important that, that commitment is shown.
Also giving them the understanding that Daddy's gotta work, but Daddy loves you.
Yeah.
So also, yesterday you met some of our kids, Indonesian kids, who really, really love playing football and probably one day dream of being a football player. I'm sure we all know that there's a certain standard if you want to be a player in an international league. So what are the standards so that we can reach that standard, so one day we will have more Indonesian kids playing in international league?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I've been lucky. I grew up in a country where an academy system was normal. That's how we learned how to play the game. It's how we aspired to be some of our heroes. And that's how I was brought up. Whereas there's certain parts of the world that just don't have that, and I think that's been tough here in Indonesia. I think that it's been difficult at times, but I think infrastructure is such an important part of the game and the future of the game in Indonesia. I think investment is a massive part of it as well, an investment into the infrastructure for academies for the kids. But one thing I've seen here is this is a tough place to play. This is a tough place. When you're coming here as a European team, as a European player, when you play against Indonesian players, they're tough players and they're good players and they've got great qualities. So, I believe that at some point when the investment is made, when the infrastructure is there, when there's more coaches that are able to coach these young talented kids, then there'll be a brighter future. But like I said, that part was normal for me growing up. For these kids, they don't naturally have that. So it's a place where I feel that the passion for the game is incredible, really incredible. The excitement yesterday with all the kids was incredible. To be in a room with 900 or 1,000 young kids, all excited, was amazing. So it was a great day yesterday. But like I said, the future has to be bright, but we have to look positive.
Yes, I agree with infrastructure. Well, speaking of infrastructure, Stu, are there any further plans for AIA to involve itself either in football or any other sports in Indonesia, or probably, as per David suggested, making a special academy?
So, more than anything, our commitment to Indonesia hinges on building awareness for a healthier Indonesia. AIA is committed to Indonesia, the largest market in ASEAN. You have 262 million people, GDP growth of 5%, and a very youthful population. These are all the right ingredients for a life insurance company. But on the flip side, what you may not know is that relative to other ASEAN nations, 1 in 3 Indonesians is a smoker. That's double the ASEAN average. 1 in 2 Indonesians is either obese or pre-obese. That's again greater than the ASEAN average. But only 1 in 6 Indonesians say that you work out and exercise on a regular basis. What this has contributed to is a life expectancy for Indonesians that is on average 9 years lower than your ASEAN peers. So for example, in the index, Japan is number 1, highest life expectancy in the world. Indonesia is 120. So, together, we can raise awareness, build consciousness, gain focus, and see both AIA and Indonesia rise together.
David, as you said earlier, it's like you saw a lot of enthusiastic kids playing soccer, and there's this huge love of soccer also in Indonesia, or football, you would say in Britain. For these kids who dream of being a football player, and yet we have the reality that we don't have the infrastructure yet, we don't have the academy yet, do you have anything to share with them or to them how to keep the fire burning so that one day I will be the David Beckham of Indonesia?
Well, my advice is to just continue to be happy and enjoying the game, because it's the best and biggest and most popular game in the world. And again, it's not an expense. It's a round ball on a field with a bunch of kids enjoying themselves, happy, and just having that experience, because when I said to you about, growing up, an academy is normal. At about 12 years old, I was told that I would never play for my country. And that was told to me by an England coach at the time, at the lower level. And I was trying to get into a school, an academy, and they said to me, "You're too small, you're not strong enough, and you'll never play for your country." Now, 30 years on, I made 115 appearances for my country. I captained my country. I played in 3 World Cups, and I had a pretty good career. So, my message to young kids out there: there might be difficult times, there might be difficult moments, but believe in yourself, have fun, enjoy yourself, and just love the game.
Oh my God, that is such an amazing story. I did not know that, but only some of them do know that. But that's amazing that you keep the fire alive in you, you keep the dream alive in you. That's really, really motivating. Thank you so much for sharing that. Stuart, does AIA have any plans